Okay, today we're going to create the handle for our particular BBQ Mate that we've made. So we've made the blade in the last tutorial, and now we're going to actually make this handle here. So the first thing we want to do is we're going to create a new body, which is this handle here. So we need to create a sketch, and we're going to use the edge of the tongue here because that's going to be flush. It's going to be flush with the edge of the handle. So I'm going to roll my mouse over, so I just select that little part of that edge there, and I'm going to click, and it's going to bring me over to the right hand side. So the first thing I need to do is project the geometry of the tongue through, so that I don't have to redraw it. So I hit P for project, and then I select these three lines here, and I'll zoom in a bit, and make sure I get the one at the back. Hit OK. And now I'm ready to start drawing the actual handle. Now, I'm going to try and make this sort of blend in a bit better. I'm not happy with this angle here, so I'm going to go back and show you how to change that as well later on. So, for example, if I got to this stage and I wasn't happy with this angle, what I could do is I could actually go stop sketch. Okay? And I could stop doing what I'm doing there. And I can come over to the right hand side, and I could grab that flange, which is this one here, I'm pretty sure. So down here on my timeline, down the bottom, I could double click on that, and I could say I want that angle to be a bit flatter. So I'm going to change that to 50 degrees, and I'm going to hit enter. Okay? And I've changed that. That's 100% okay. Now if I wanted to kick this handle up a bit here, I could double click on him there, and I might decide that I want to push him up to 35 degrees and hit OK. So that's the whole point of parametric modeling, is that you get this timeline so that you can continually adjust things. And if I wanted to go back and go to the sketch I was working on, which is the last guy here, I double click on him, and now I'm back working on this sketch again like I was before. So it's always very easy to go back and change things if you want to. So I'm going to start drawing. So I'm going to hit L for line. I'm going to click on this dot here, and I'm going to push up perpendicular. And I'm going to call that, let's say, 4 millimeters. And I'm going to do another one coming down here. I'm going to snap to the dot again. Get that perpendicular snap, and you can see that by that little right angle icon that I've got there. I'm going to go another 4 millimeters. And I'm going to zoom out and move across. And I'm going to try and get a bit of a curve happening in this handle. So yeah, I'm going to sort of guesstimate this and do it by eye in proportion to the blade. So I'm going to hit S. I'm going to type in arc. And I'm going to do a 3-point arc. And I'm going to select that dot at the end. I'm going to come back to about here. And I'm going to do something with a curve in it. Sort of like so. Okay, I'm going to do another arc on the bottom here. Going to have a slightly fatter handle on this one, I reckon. I'm not quite happy with that, so I'm going to hit escape. S, arc. I'm going to have another go at it. Jump on there. Maybe just make it a bit thinner up here. Sort of like that, maybe. And then I'm going to get my line tool, and I'm going to put a bit of an angle on the back here. Maybe like that. Just going to have a look and see how big it is. So I'm going to hit D for dimension. Click and push up. It's about 215 centimeters, so it's going to be quite a small handle on this one, but I think that will be okay. I can always go back and change it later. I'm going to hit T for trim. I'm going to cut this section out here. Have a bit of a look and see what that looks like. It's quite a small handle, but I think that's going to look okay. Now, if I wanted to put, say, a couple of finger grooves in here, I could. So I could hit S. I could type in arc, 3-point arc, and I could just try and put in a couple of small finger grooves. I'm going to zoom in so I can see right. So I can go something like that. Something like that, so and so and so. So you can easily change this shape to whatever you really want it to look like just by experimenting. I'm going to take them out because I don't really want them on mine. And now what I'm going to be able to do is actually extrude that shape and make my handle. So if I hit E for extrude, I'll be able to click on that shape that I've drawn, and I'll be able to push it back 38. Now it's getting upset at me because it can't cut something. So what I need to do is go to my extrude box and change some of these parameters. So the operation I'm going to change to a new body, and that's going to go back negative 38. And hit enter. And I'm starting to get something that's pretty big and chunky, to be honest, but I'm starting to get something that looks like my BBQ Mate. Okay? So I think the most obvious thing that needs to happen is I need some fillets. I need to start rounding some stuff off on this particular design. So I think the first thing I'll do is I'll hit F for fillet, and I'm going to fillet these front edges off so they blend in. So I'm going to select that top edge there. I'm going to shift middle mouse button so I can see underneath. Select that one. I'm going to put maybe a 4mm fillet on those, I reckon. So they round in. Yeah, that looks pretty good. Probably going to round these ones off on the back. So I'm going to hit F for fillet. This guy on the back. Type in 4. That's far too much. I think I'm going to go about a 2 on there. F for fillet, this bottom one here. I want quite a big radius on that, I reckon, to make it look good. So I'm going to go 20mm on that one there. And then now I need to actually round the outside. So I'm going to hit F, click on that one. I might as well do the other side while I'm at it. Shift middle mouse button. And I'm going to 4mm. Maybe 6mm. It's not going to like 6, not going to like 5, 4. Yeah, 4 is going to work. Oh, because of these middle round ones at the front. So I'm going to go 4 and hit enter. And now I'm starting to get something that looks a little bit better. Now what I'm thinking as well is I might actually put a hole in the back here. Now the hole could actually be quite difficult to draw because you've got a curved plane on here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually create a work plane. So I'm going to go construct up here. Click on an offset plane, and I'm going to click on this flat part of the blade. Click on him. I'm going to push up. I don't know, 100mm should be fine. Type it in. Hit enter. And I'm going to go sketch. And I'm going to click on this new work plane that I've created. Just going to bring us around to here. Now I'm going to make sure I can see the end of my handle. And first thing I'm going to draw is a center line. So I'm going to hit L for line. Going to snap it to that triangle there. Push it in. Let's find the center point. I'm going to guess that I'm going to come in about, because I've got a chamfer underneath it, I might come in 20mm. Like so. I'm going to click on that line and hit X to turn it into a construction line again. And then I need to actually cut that hole through. So I'm going to hit C for circle. I'm going to snap it to the end of that line. And let's call this like a 10mm hole. That'd be good. So we're going to go 10, enter, enter. And I'm going to use that to actually drill the hole out. So I'm going to hit E for extrude. I'm going to click on that hole, and then I'm going to push that the whole way through. And hit enter. And I've got a hole. Now I might chamfer that to make it look a little bit better. So once again, I'm going to go up to create here, drop down, modify, drop down, go to chamfer. I'm going to select the top part of that hole to the top line. And I might see if it'll do it to the bottom line. It might not like it because it's a compound curve. I'm going to go equal distances, and I might call that 1mm. Let's see what that looks like. Yeah, I reckon that's pretty cool. Enter. And so I put a hole in it. Like so, and I'm starting to get something that looks kind of like what I'm after. Now, what I probably should have done as well before I made this handle, it doesn't make a huge amount of difference, but I probably should have jumped back into the model mode. It just changes the tools that are available. Luckily, the tools that I was using were very similar between sheet metal and just the normal model mode. So if I hit M for material, not M for material, I need to go up to, I'm going to hit S, and I'm going to type in Mat for materials, and I'm going to go bring up manage materials. And I'm going to actually set some of the materials for this for this Barbie mate that I've drawn up. So the first thing I need to do is I'm going to make sure that if I go metal, stainless, I'm going to go stainless satin. I'm going to grab that one and drag it. Oh, sorry, I need to go to physical. And what am I doing? Metal. Stainless steel. Interesting. Alright, not letting me do that for some reason. The other way you can do it is you can actually right click on your body here. And you can go appearance. Okay, so you can select the body that you're working on. So this body 1, that's our blade. Right click, appearance. I'm going to go metal. I'm going to change that to stainless. There's a whole bunch of different stuff that we can have. Do they have one with this? Milled, hexagon mesh, steel cast. Let's have a look and see what satin looks like. So I'm going to grab him, drag him, and drop him over there. Okay, it'll look a little bit like what it's meant to look like, but we need to go into the render option to make it look realistic. So that's stainless, and then if we go to get out of metal, we go to wood, finished. Wood, solid finished. We can, let's do like a semi-gloss mahogany. Click the download icon. So some of these materials might not actually be installed. You might have to actually download them from the server. And then we get that one, we drag that onto the handle. Cool, now we get something that starts to look like timber. So mahogany's not a bad one because it looks pretty like close-ish to Jarrah. And we're starting to get something that looks like what it is that we're trying to actually make. So what we can do now is we can go up to model and we can go to render and jump in the render gallery here. And then if we hit the play button up here, we'll start to get an in-canvas render. And what that's going to do is do a computer-generated model of what a realistic computer-generated model of what our BBQ Mate is actually going to end up looking like. And you can let that roll out, and that will give you a, let that go for a few minutes, and it will give you a more realistic version. And there you go. That's how you do the handle. Thank you.